Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into the absolutely incredible story of a phantom planet, a cosmic visitor that was supposed to end the world, not once, but twice. This is a crazy tale of ancient aliens, internet doomsday prophecies, and the hard science that brought the whole thing crashing down to Earth. So, get this. First, it was predicted to show up in May of 2003. And when that day came and went, well, the prophecy just kind of merged with the whole Mayan calendar craze. A new doomsday was set for December 2012. The entire world was told to brace for impact from a mysterious planet called Nibiru. So what is this thing, and where in the world did this story even come from? Okay, let's unpack this whole thing. The modern version of the Nibiru story is a wild ride. And you know, it didn't start in some ancient scroll. Nope. It was actually made popular by one author way back in 1976.
Yeah, the entire modern legend, it all traces back to a man named Zecharia Sitchin and his book, The 12th Planet. He made this extraordinary claim that he'd translated ancient Sumerian text that told a story mainstream historians had just completely missed, the story of a hidden planet right here in our own solar system.
And this is where it gets really wild, because Sitchin's theory mixes planetary science with this super dramatic origin story for humanity. It goes something like this. Nibiru is on this huge 3,600-year orbit, and it's home to an advanced alien race called the Anunnaki. He claimed that almost 500,000 years ago, they came to Earth to mine for gold. And to get the job done, they genetically engineered us, Homo sapiens, as a slave race. Now, here's where the story takes a really dark turn. Sitchin's creation myth got picked up by other people, like a woman named Nancy Leader, who twisted it into a full-blown doomsday prophecy. She claimed Nibiru's next pass wouldn't be peaceful at all. Instead, it would trigger a polar shift, massive earthquakes, and tsunamis. I mean, we're talking a true extinction-level event. Okay, but to really get to the bottom of this, we need to go back a lot further than the 1970s. The ancient texts Sitchin said he translated, well, they tell a very, very different story. Let's dig in and see what they actually say. Sitchin based his entire theory on these ancient writings, right? So here's the billion-dollar question. Did he even get the translation right? And wow, this is where you can see the massive gap between the conspiracy theory and what the experts say. On one side, you've got Sitchin's story of a rogue planet and alien gods. But on the other, you have actual experts in Sumerian and Assyrian languages who say the word Nibiru, from the Babylonian creation myth, the Enuma Elish. It just means crossing point or ferry. It probably referred to a fixed spot in the sky, or a really bright object like Jupiter, or maybe Polaris, the North Star. Okay, but I know what you're probably thinking. What about that one piece of proof? Proponents of the theory always point to this one specific artifact, a little cylinder seal called VA243. So let's put it under the microscope. So Sitchin's camp says, look, here's the sun surrounded by all the known planets plus the hidden one, Nibiru. But archaeologists and the people who actually read Sumerian have a very different take. They point out the thing in the middle isn't the Sumerian symbol for the sun, it's the symbol for a star. And all those dots surrounding it, they almost certainly represent the Pleiades star cluster, a super common symbol in ancient art. Basically, the supposed smoking gun evidence is widely seen as just a misinterpretation. All right, so we've looked at the modern myth. We've looked at the ancient texts. Now, let's bring in the expert witness, modern science. What do the laws of physics and actual astronomical observations have to say about all this?
You know, when it comes to the science, the case against Nibiru is, well, it's pretty much a slam dunk. It really boils down to three big fundamental problems.
First off, there's the visibility problem. Just think about it. If a giant planet was heading our way for a 2012 flyby, it wouldn't be some big secret. For years beforehand, it would have become one of the brightest things in the night sky, easily visible to the naked eye. The number of astronomers, professional or amateur, who have seen anything like it, a big fat zero. Then you've got the gravity problem. Our solar system is like this beautifully balanced machine. The orbits of the planets are incredibly stable. A massive planet swinging through the inner solar system every few thousand years would have thrown everything into absolute chaos. Earth's orbit would be a mess. But it's not. It shows no signs of that kind of disruption at all. And finally, you have the professional consensus. I mean, NASA has been forced to talk about this over and over again, especially as 2012 got closer. As NASA scientist Dr. David Morrison put it, pretty bluntly, Nibiru is nothing more than an internet hoax. There is no factual basis for these claims.
Now, before we wrap up, there's one really important thing we need to clear up because it's a point of confusion that keeps this myth alive. And that's the difference between the story of Nibiru and the very real scientific hunt for a Planet 9. See, the Nibiru myth involves a 3,600-year orbit that cuts right through the inner solar system, and its evidence is misinterpreted texts. The Planet 9 hypothesis, on the other hand, describes a potential planet with an orbit of 10,000 years or more that stays way, way out in the Kuiper belt. And the evidence for it? The weird gravitational pull it seems to have on other small objects out there. So one is a disproven hoax, the other is a legitimate, though still unproven, scientific idea. They're not the same thing. So what we're looking at is this fascinating journey of an idea. You have an ancient Babylonian term for a crossing point in the sky. In the 20th century, that gets reinterpreted into a modern myth about alien creators. And then from there, it mutates into this viral internet doomsday hoax that captivated millions of people. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question. Ultimately, the story of Nibiru tells us a lot less about a rogue planet and a lot more about ourselves, about our fascination with huge cosmic mysteries, our search for where we came from, and maybe our anxieties about the future. So why are we so captivated by these stories of hidden worlds? That might be the real mystery here.